Coins and kings, how power minted the first economies. Before there were billionaires, there were kings. Before Bitcoin, there was gold. And long before Wall Street, there was the palace treasury guarded, secret and powerful. Because for thousands of years, money was monarchy. Empires weren't just built in battle, they were minted. Every fortune, every conquest, every dynasty, born from one truth: whoever controlled the coin, controlled the crown. This is Coins and Kings, where money meets monarchy and power is struck in gold. 1. The birth of money and power. It begins over 2,600 years ago in the ancient kingdom of Lydia, what we now call Western Turkey. Here, a revolutionary idea was born: the world's first official coins. They were made of electrum, a natural mix of gold and silver, shimmering, rare, beautiful, each stamped with the mark of the king. For the first time, value wasn't guessed. It was guaranteed. Trade didn't rely on trust, or bartering it relied on royal authority. Every coin that passed from hand to hand carried the same silent message: this wealth belongs to the king. Money had become a symbol of sovereignty. And with it, the foundations of the world's first true economy were laid. 2. Money as propaganda. Centuries later, the Romans didn't just copy this idea, they mastered it. They understood that money could buy more than goods. It could buy loyalty. Every Roman coin bore the emperor's face, stern, divine, eternal. When you paid for bread or wine, you paid with his image. When you saved under his gaze. It wasn't just currency, it was propaganda in your pocket. A portable promise of power. A reminder that the emperor wasn't just a ruler, he was destiny itself. Through these coins, Rome told its story every day. Order, strength, divinity, all minted in silver and gold. Money had become a message, and empires used it to make sure that message never faded. 3. The empire of gold and silver now. Fast forward to the 16th century. The old world meets the new, and the Spanish Empire strikes silver mountains of it. In the heart of the Andes, the mines of Potosi, in modern-day Bolivia, roar to life. Tens of thousands of men toil in the darkness, digging up the treasure that would fuel an empire. Ship after ship sails home loaded with silver enough to pay armies, build cathedrals, and reshape global trade. Spanish coins flood Europe, Asia, and beyond. For a time, Spain seems unstoppable. But silver has a curse. The more they found, the less it was worth. Markets flooded, prices soared, inflation ravaged the empire. The same treasure that made Spain rich destroyed it. By the 17th century, the richest nation on earth was drowning in its own abundance. Its gold had become quicksand. The lesson? Even the mightiest empire can collapse if it mistakes wealth for wisdom. 4. Britain's monetary empire. Then came the British, and they didn't make the same mistake. They learned that true power isn't in what you hold, it's in what others believe you hold. Britain conquered not just with armies, but with banks. The pound sterling became the spine of global trade. From India to Africa, the Caribbean to the Pacific, every colony tied its fate to the British pound. And as the empire spread, so did its currency. They didn't need mountains of gold. They had trust, and that was worth more. The British Empire became a monetary machine, a network of credit, paper, and faith, the first truly global financial system. The sun never set on Britain because the sun never set on its money. 5. From crowns to central banks. But empires fall, kings fade, and the crown passed to a new kind of ruler. Today, the throne belongs to central bankers. They don't wear jewels or sit in palaces. They command from offices and data centers, ruling with algorithms instead of armies. Their weapon is the interest rate. Their power, the printing press. Their empire digital, invisible, unstoppable. Our gold is now data, our currency code, our vault's lines of encrypted trust. But the game? It hasn't changed. Money still decides who rises, who rules, and who falls. The players are new, the stakes are higher, and the crown is still up for grabs. 6. Lessons from the kings. So what can the kings of old teach the rulers of tomorrow? Lesson 1. Diversify. The greatest empires didn't rely on one market or one mine. They built networks, trade routes that crossed the known world. Diversity wasn't just survival, it was strategy. Lesson 2. Protect your assets. From the vaults of Babylon to the fortresses of Spain, the wise protected what they built with alliances, systems, and foresight. Lesson 3. Build for legacy. The richest kings weren't the ones who spent the most. They were the ones whose wealth endured. True power isn't in what you earn today, it's in what lasts tomorrow. The smartest kings weren't greedy, they were strategic. 7. Join the kingdom. From ancient gold coins to modern digital ledgers, money has always been the language of power. It tells stories of conquest, ambition, and survival. And if we listen closely, the voices of the past still echo. They remind us that wealth isn't just a number, it's a narrative, one written by those bold enough to mint their own destiny. This is Coins and Kings, where money meets monarchy and fortunes shape empires. Subscribe for more. Step inside the vaults of history. Discover the secrets of ancient treasuries, the rise and fall of fortunes, and what it all means for your wealth today. Because the empire of money is still being built. And the next king of finance could be you.